Namo Buddhaya, meritorious Dhamma Friends. Now this is the second program we are conducting to teach the Maha Satipatthana Sutta. So in this program, you will gradually learn to develop mindfulness, and help that mindfulness to overcome suffering. So to overcome suffering, we should abandon unwholesome thoughts and develop a mind in a way that unwholesome thoughts will not arise. And also we should cultivate wholesome thoughts and develop those wholesome thoughts. To do that, we need to have mindfulness and we need to have right views. So the Noble Eightfold Path works with three factors. We need to practice, we need to have right views, right effort, and right mindfulness. These three things works together. So first of all, let's go for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha, observe 5 precepts, and then start learning Dhamma. So let's go for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha now. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe the 5 precepts, say after me. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I follow these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, and to realize the Four Noble Truths. In this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, we are happy to meet you again in this second program to share the Buddha's teachings, to teach you Satipatthana, our safe place. Satipatthana, Buddha used some similes to explain about Satipatthana, about mindfulness. Mindfulness is something like you are living in the right place, not roaming in the wrong place. Now, even when we were very small, when we were babies, when we were like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, parents, when they were away from us in the house, when they had, maybe if our mother was busy working in the kitchen, we were kept in a place where we can't go wherever we want. Maybe a small fence, inside a small fence, or inside, if we are living in a room, maybe a special area is separated for us and we can't go beyond that, we can't jump over. So the mother knows that we are in that place. So Buddha used a simile to explain that also, about mindfulness. In a sutta called Sakunagghi, taking a simile of a hawk, a story between a hawk and a quail. So remember, there in the sutta, Buddha preaches a hawk, once upon a time, mendicants, a hawk suddenly swooped down and grabbed a quail. And as the quail was being carried off, he wailed. Now the small quail, it wailed, saying, "I am so unlucky, so unfortunate to have roamed out of my territory into the domain of others. If today I'd roamed with my own territory, the domain of my fathers, the place where my fathers told me to live, this hawk wouldn't have been able to beat me by fighting." Now this quail is wailing, crying, regretting for roaming in the wrong place. If this whale would have lived in a place where his parents have told to live, this quail won't wail. Then this was heard by the hawk. Then the hawk said, "So quail, what is your own territory? Now tell me, where can you live happily? The domain of your fathers?" Then this quail said, "It's a plowed field covered with clods of earth." Now when people use a mammoth, forget about, even we take a machine today, with the machines, with the tractors, they plow the fields, they mix the soil. So when they use these machines, what happens? The soil get mixed, the soil comes out and the soil get mixed. So during the Buddha's time, even today, the people who are doing small crops with a mammoth, they pull the earth, and then once they pull the earth up, a small clod of earth will come out, and then underneath that clod of earth, that bird can live. So that's where the small birds live. If you want to learn more, go to a Discovery channel and try to learn how small birds like quails, they live. They protect their lives. Then now this hawk, confident in her own strength, the hawk with her power, and by telling her power, by showing her power with an arrogant mind, the hawk said, "Okay, I'm releasing you, go and hide. Let's see whether you can hide." Then this hawk said, "Okay, you can try, but you won't escape from me." Who's telling this? Hawk. Now we are learning a story to learn about mindfulness. Don't forget that now. We are learning this story to learn about mindfulness. Don't forget that idea. Then the quail went to a plowed field covered with clods of earth. He climbed up a big clod and standing there. So there was a big clod. Imagine you pulled out a piece of soil from the earth with a mammoth. Then imagine the piece of soil which is on the earth. So this quail went and stand on that, not underneath that clod, on the soil, piece of soil, the clod. And then he yelled at the hawk and said, okay, now come and try. Try to swallow me now. Try to grab me. Then this hawk, confident with her own strength, the hawk was not afraid. Without thinking twice, she folded her wings and suddenly swooped down on the quail. What happened, dear Dhamma friends? Imagine. When the quail knew that the hawk was nearly there, he slipped under the clod, went under the small piece of soil, but the hawk crashed chest first right there, and the hawk died. That's what happened when you roam out of your territory into the domain of others. Now the hawk would have lived in this. Hawk would have lived in the space, in the air. Go to huge trees and land on huge trees. This hawk came to the earth to grab the small bird. The hawk also went out of the hawk's territory. And this little bird, this quail, he went to a safe place. He was safe. He was saved. So now, what is our peaceful place? On top of a mountain? A place where there is no coronavirus? How can we find? Our wonderful place to live is mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? Let's chant from the Buddha's words. Dear Dhamma friends, yesterday we chanted where Buddha explains the value of the path, the one and only path for the purification of beings. So today let's chant the 4 factors that helps us to purify our minds, to develop mindfulness very well, to attain Nibbana. So say after me. Ida bhikkave bhikkhu kaye kayānupassī viharati ātāpi sampajāno satimā vinaya loke abhijjā domanassaṃ. Here monks, in the bhikkave bhikkhu, here monks, a bhikkhu, a monk, kaye kāyānupassī viharati. Viharati means dwelling. A monk dwells contemplating the body in body. He develops mindfulness towards the body. Kaye kāyānupassī viharati. Ātāpi sampajāno satimā. Dedicated, fully aware and mindful. He has 3 qualities. Ātāpi sampajāno satimā. Dedicated, with effort. Sampajāno, with full aware. Satimā, with mindfulness. So with these 3 qualities, he is aware of the body. That is the first thing that we should practice in mindfulness. We should be aware of the body. Then, right now we are aware of the body, but only about the external appearance. What do you think, dear Dhamma friends? We are very much concerned about the external appearance. About, if you take men, they are concerned about their hairstyle, then their attire, then their fitness. But that is not enough. Now, when fitness will remain for some time, but when we get old, when we get diseases, how can that fitness help us to live happily? Imagine when we grow old, this beauty will fade away, will get ugly. The skin will get wrinkled, the hair will get grey. Then how come the previous beauty will give happiness in the present? Once we get 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, or 80 years, maybe 70 years, how can the beauty that we had during our youth give us happiness when we get old? Will that beauty give happiness? No. So then we should have something, we should develop something in our lives that will give happiness even though you are ugly, even though you are unfit, even though you are suffering a lot bodily due to any bodily pains or any other difficulties, there should be a way for us to live happily. So the first way is to have mindfulness towards the body. In the upcoming programs, we'll teach you how to be mindfulness towards the body. So I need to go step by step. Then the second way to be mindful, Vedanasu Vedananu Passi Viharati. Say loudly. Vedanasu Vedananu Passi Viharati. Atapi Sampajano Satima. Vinaya Loke Abhijja Domanasang. He dwells contemplating the feelings in feelings. He is mindfulness. He has mindfulness towards the feelings, the things that he feels. Maybe through the eye, through the ears, through the nose, through the tongue, body and mind, whatever through the 6 places, whatever he feels through these 6 places, he is mindful. Dedicated, fully aware and mindful. One more thing we need to explain. Vinaya loke abhijja domanasang. What is the meaning of that? Having put away greed and grief for the world. Having put away greed and grief for the world. Now, when we feel things, we have greed. We love those things. Or else, when we feel things, we suffer. So that should be abandoned with the help of mindfulness. Then the third one, Chitte Chittanu Passi Viharati. Atapi Sampajano Satima. Vinaya Loke Abhijja Domanasang. He dwells contemplating the mind in mind. He contemplates, he is mindful about the mind, the things that he thinks, the nature of the mind, whether the mind is overwhelmed with anger or sadness. He is always watching his mind, not blaming others and correcting his mind. Dedicated, fully aware and mindful. Vinaya loke abhijja domanasang, having put away greed and grief for the world. See how nice when you are away. Imagine no greed and no grief for the world. Amazing, right? So we should practice these things. Now see, Buddha preaches, the moon shines when open, not when covered by the clouds or by mist. Then Buddha preaches, this is in a different sutta, in Paticcanna Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, the sun shines when open and not when covered by the clouds. The Buddha's teachings, the doctrine and discipline proclaimed by the Tathagata shine when open, not when closed. So we should discuss these teachings. We should learn these teachings. Then only our lives will get awakened and will brighten, will lighten up with the power of the wisdom. So to enlighten our minds, we should learn the Buddha's teachings. So the Buddha's teachings will widely shine. The Buddha's teachings will shine very well only when the Buddha's teachings are well taught and well discussed. So then let's go to the next way of having mindfulness. Buddha preaches, Dhammesu Dhammanu Passi Viharati. Atapi Sampajano Satima. Vinaya Loke Abhijja Domanasang. He dwells contemplating the Buddha's teachings. In the Buddha's teachings, he is mindfulness. He has mindfulness towards the Buddha's teachings. He always lives mindfully, thinking the Buddha's teachings, and he is practicing the Buddha's teachings very well. He has a mirror of Dhamma. The mirror of Dhamma will help him to be mindful. So when he has a mirror of Dhamma, that is mindfulness, being mindful towards the Buddha's teachings, that will protect his life. Then he will be able to recognize what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. That is the mirror of Dhamma, having mindfulness towards the Buddha's teachings. See how our Buddha has protected our lives, how Buddha has taken us to the right place, to live in the right place. So the best place for us to live is living in line with the Buddha's teachings. Then we are living with mindfulness. How can our mind get overwhelmed with sadness? How can our mind get overwhelmed with lust, anger, and delusion? How can we keep on pondering and wondering what will happen to us tomorrow when we have such a wonderful Dhamma like this? When we can live having put away greed and grief for the world, how can a person suffer? Why need to worry? We have a wonderful thing to practice. This Dhamma, when you learn about Kamma, and when you learn about other worlds, when you learn about Sansara, when you learn about Nibbana, when you learn about divine worlds, we have some protection. We have an enormous protection. Even if a person can't attain Nibbana in this life, at least he can have a hope to be born in a divine world. More than human worlds, we won't just have attachment towards these countries that we have heard in this world. When we learn about other worlds, we will know about better worlds to be born and better things to achieve in life, like Nibbana, becoming stream entrance, becoming one-returners, becoming non-returners, and becoming arahants. So those kind of hopes we should develop in our life. Then all these other problems are minor problems. The main problem that we have in our life is not attaining Nibbana, going in Sansara. What is this coronavirus? We should take the necessary precautions for coronavirus, but then we should be more concerned about this Dhamma that we are learning, about the Sansara. Once Buddha said, dear Dhamma friends, once a person is born in the hell, how can he come back to the human world again? It's like some soil taken to a fingernail. Only among the beings who are born in hell, like compared to the soil on a fingernail, will come back to the human world. Why? No practicing dana, no virtue, no meditation. How can a person come back to the human world? Therefore, we should understand that we are going in an endless journey of births and deaths. So this mindfulness should be practiced to overcome from those problems. And we should take a strong determination to understand the things that we should really think, the things that we should really be concerned. Because the things that we should be really concerned, we are not concerned. The things that we shouldn't be concerned, we are concerned. We should recognize what is beneficial and unbeneficial in life, because this mind, like a water stream, can produce thoughts. So we should be able to recognize these thoughts and recognize the wholesome one as wholesome ones, unwholesome one as unwholesome ones, cultivate wholesome deeds. There's a nice sutta called Dveda Vitaka Sutta. You can use that sutta. So then, with the help of these teachings, we can gradually have a strong determination to develop mindfulness with the hope of realizing the Four Noble Truths. So today, we learn the four things that we should be mindful towards the body, towards the feelings, towards the mind, and the Buddha's teachings. So then mainly the body is about the body postures, then the breath, then the impurities of the body. So then gradually when you are mindful towards these things, you will not be attached, you will not be opposed. So those are the protections that we get when we practice this Dhamma. So finally, you will be able to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya.